Hello everyone, hope you have amazing day and welcome to my new blog. Today we discuss about industrial relations and labor laws. So productivity in any organizations is the outcome of the joint efforts of two distinct elements, namely technological and human resource. The factor of production other than labor can be manipulated easily. However, the human aspects in the organization is the most difficult to manipulate or manage in a proper perspective. The human element are the cause and the result of the interactions, social issues, duty, responsibilities, and other activities also. The high rate of the industrial growth, increased pace of technological development, and complex nature of the jobs made the workforce of an organization the resource of completive success. Hence, managing men has become a vital part of the present day of the management. Any negligence of the human elements leads to misunderstanding between the management and workers, the result of which can be seen in the form of increased labor turnover, absenteeism, indiscipline, the decline in the quality of work done, increased cost productions, and various problems in the market. Therefore, in this context, the concept of individual relations receives widespread attentions all over the world. Now, definition of industrial relations. The term industrial relations comprises industry and relations. So, industry means any productive activity in which an individual is engaged. It includes primary activities like agriculture, fisheries, plantations, horticultures, mining, etc. Now, secondary activities like manufacturing, construction, trade, transport, commerce, banking, uh, communication, etc. So, economically speaking, industry means the secondary sector where factors of production, land, labor, capital, and enterprise, or four M's, main materials, money, machines, are gainfully employed for the purpose of productions and where a business organization exists. So relations means the relations that exist in the industry between the employer and his workforce. So different authors have defined the terms of industrial relations in a somewhat different way. Now, objectives of the industrial relations. Twofold objectives of good industrial relations are to preserve industrial peace and to secure industrial cooperations also. If we have to establish industrial peace, the workers must be assured of fair wages, good conditions of work, reasonable working hours, holidays, and minimum amenities of life. Now, types of industrial relations. Industrial relations is chiefly concerned with the managed and workers' relations or employer employee relations, but its scope is not limited only to these aspects. It also includes labor relations and public or community relations also. Now, the industrial relations includes four type of relations, that is, first labor relations, two group relations, three employer employee relations, and four community or public relation. Now, models of industrial relations. So Dunlop industrial relations systems models four interrelated elements: actors, shared ideology, context, and rules. So Craig industrial relations systems models adds an actor and end users elements from the external environment converted into outputs, series of conversations of mechanism, outputs flow back into the environment through a feedback loop. Now, layers of industrial relations. So the employer, now the employee, the government, and trade unions. Now the various approaches to industrial relations. Now we discuss about this: psychological approach, sociological approach, human relations approach, socio-ethical aspects, unitary approach. Now, so 5 years plan and industrial relations. A country like India, which is in the progress of transforming its economy from a backward agriculture economy to a developed industrial one. Peaceful relations between management and labor is the need of the hour. Emphasis on increased productions for the smooth and steady 19th economic growth. Now, India cannot afford work stoppage due to protracted frictions between employer and employees, which will jeopardize with the main objectives of our 5 years plan. Now, for economic progress, India in her first 5 year plan, 1951 to 1956, concentrated on five aspects of labor policy. Number one, industrial relations. Number two, wages. Number three, working conditions. Number four, productivity. Now, labor laws background. The Ministry of Labor and Employment seeks to protect and safeguard the interest of workers in general and those who constituted the poor, deprived, and disadvantaged sections of the society, in particular, with due regard to creating a healthy work environment for higher productions and productivity, and developing and coordinating vocational skill training and employment services. Now, government's attention is also focused on the promotions of welfare activities and providing social security to the labor force both in organized and unorganized sector in tandem with the process of liberalizations. So these objectives are sought to be achieved through enactment and implementations of the various labor laws which regulate the terms of the conditions of service and employment of workers. Now, the following are the trust areas of the government concerning labor laws. Now we discuss in details labor policy and legislations, safety, health and welfare of labor, social security of labor, policy relating to special target groups such as women and child labor, industrial relations and enforcement of labor laws in the central shaper and adjudications of industrial disputes through central government industrial tribunals, labor courts and national industrial tribunals, workers' educations, labor and employment statistics, immigrations of labor for employment abroad, administrations of central labor and employment services, and international cooperations in labor and employment matters. The various labor legislations enacted by the central government can be classified into the following different board categories: laws relating to industrial relations, Industrial Disputes Act 1947, Trade Unions Act 1926, laws relating to wage acts, Minimum Wages Act 1948, Payment of Wage Act 1936, Payment of Bonus Act 1965, laws relating to Social Security, Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952, Employees State Insurance Act 1948, Labor Welfare Funds Act of respective states, Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, Employees Compensation Act 1923, laws relating to working hours, conditions of services and employment, Factories Act 1948, the Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946, Shops and Commercial Establishment Act of respective states, Contract Labor Regulations and Abolitions Act 1970, Interstate Migrants Worksmen Regulations of Employment and Conditions of Services Act 1979, Weekly Holidays Act 1942, National and Festival Holidays Act of respective states 1963, the Plantation Labor Act 1951, the Mines Act 1952, the Dock Worker Safety and Healthy and Welfare Act 1986, laws relating to equality and empowerment of women, Equal Remuneration Act 1976, Maternity Benefits Act 1961, Prohibitive Labor Act laws, Bonded Labor Systems Abolitions Act 1976, Child Labor Prohibitions and Regulations Act 1986, the Bedi and the Seeger Workers Conditions and Employment Act 1966, the Sexual Harassment at the Workplace Preventions, Prohibitions and Redressal Act 2013, the laws relating to employment and training, Apprentice Act 1961, Employment of Exchange, Compulsory Notification of Vacancies Act 1959. So that's for the video, my friends. If you like my channel, please subscribe, comment and share my channel. Thanks a lot for watching.